Hello, my name is Ryan Harper, and today we're here at Pocosin Lakes National Wildlife Refuge Center. And today we're going to be speaking with Ms. Ramos about everything they have to offer here as part of our summer segment, Summer Adventures. So let's take a look.
My name is Katerina Ramos. I am the Refuge Programs and Volunteer Coordinator here at Pocosin Lakes National Wildlife Refuge. I work with Pocosin Lakes National Wildlife Refuge with a Memorandum of Understanding with the North Carolina Wildlife Federation and U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. Well, Pocosin Lakes is a very beautiful refuge. It's about 110,000 plus acres. It consists of our Pungo unit and the main part of our refuge. The Pungo unit was originally established in 1964 as a wintering waterfowl refuge, and it's still used as that today. It's kind of like a sanctuary for our wintering waterfowl population. So we have quite a bit of different types of wildlife on our refuge. We get a large amount of wintering waterfowl, as well as having a very large black bear population. Really awesome, as well as also hosting the red wolf population as well. We're part of the 5-county area that you can find wild red wolves. So definitely bears. Black bears is definitely the biggest one, as well as otters. There's actually a family of otters that people see quite consistently on the Pungo unit and on Pocosin Lakes. Quite a few different types of snakes, some venomous, some non-venomous, bobcats, white-tailed deer, bobwhite quail, which is always something that people get really excited about, as well as a multitude of different waterfowl species. We get a very large population of wintering waterfowl like tundra swan and snow geese during the winter months. That's in the probably like 5-digit numbers of populations that come over. So we actually have two different parts of Pocosin Lakes if we think about it. We have the main part of Pocosin Lakes, and then we have where our visitor center is in Columbia, North Carolina. And in that visitor center, you can see quite a few displays that talks about some of our endangered species like the red wolf, the red cockaded woodpecker, and some other species that you may see here quite regularly, which of course is the black bear, certain owl species, as well as some different types of birds as well. You can see quite a few videos that we have. We currently have a documentary that plays on loop in the visitor center, as well as a partnership video that shows the impact of our wintering waterfowl species on the refuge. We also have a boardwalk here that you can go ahead and take a nice little leisure walk with your family and see some wildlife, see some of the natural habitat that exists on Pocosin Lakes just right here in Columbia, North Carolina. The biggest thing that they'll be able to experience is seeing wildlife. So a lot of locations that you can go to, they can be quite elusive or evasive of being seen. And more often than not, I'm going to see some sort of wild animal on our boardwalk, whether it be some weasels, a nutria, muskrat, a whole bunch of slew of animals. They can also go fishing off of our boardwalk here as well. Quite a bit of individuals in our community like to go fishing off of here. I've seen some people catch some mullet as well as bream and catfish. So it's been really interesting watching people. And then of course, you can also see lots of turtles, which is my favorite thing. We have a whole bunch of different types of turtle species here, so it's really awesome. So lots to see for your family, lots to learn about. We have a couple of different informational kiosks here too that you can learn some information about the wetland habitat and Pocosin habitat as a whole. Ordinarily, if you come after the first full moon of November, we actually get a very large wintering waterfowl population coming in. So if you go onto Pocosin Lakes during like December, January, during our rainy season, you'll see thousands, and I'm not even exaggerating, legitimately thousands of wintering waterfowl on Pocosin Lakes, and it's like a sea of white. It's crazy at the amount of numbers that you see of wintering waterfowl here. So it's really exciting. Ordinarily during the summertime, you end up doing a lot of bear watching. We get a lot of cubs on the refuge, so many people like to watch them. And during the wintertime, we get a slew of wintering waterfowl, and it's really beautiful to watch. Our tundra swan are just absolutely magnificent to watch take flight and hang out in our impoundment. So really that's like the next big thing that we're gearing up to get ready to see out here on the refuge. It's absolutely beautiful to take a walk back into our boardwalk here, because just the environment in general just takes you away into this own little oasis of natural environment that's not too far away from a close town, so you don't have to go like super out of your way. So on the Scuppernong River, you can actually take your boat and your kayak out on here. There's actually a paddling trail that you can find online to take on the Scuppernong River. We actually have a paddle launch as well, which is a kayak or canoe paddle launch. And we also have a marina over here as well in Columbia itself. So lots to do in terms of fishing and boating and water sports here. So it's definitely a really great time. Only 3% of the world consists of wetland habitat. That 3% actually exists along the eastern coast of the United States. And Pocosin Lake specifically works on preserving that habitat and is really important in the ecology of the environment and biodiversity of the environment. So supporting Pocosin Lakes and visiting Pocosin Lakes and seeing one of these very rare habitat types is truly a sight to see, and it really is a unique area that I really love when people get to see it, because they're like, wow, this is nothing I thought it was going to be. So typically when people think of wetland habitat, they're like, oh yeah, everything's underwater, and it's like, no. So yeah, just the rarity of the habitat in general, as well as, you know, being able to see wildlife in such large numbers that, you know, you would never see anywhere else. It's absolutely magnificent.